Good morning, everyone. This is Sharon from Self-Care for Black Men. I am driving this morning on my way to work and decided to come on, one, to say you guys good morning. And before we move on, let's take 5 deep breaths, because as you know me, with that self-care and in centering ourselves is really important, and in not always just diving straight into things. So let's take 5 deep breaths. Bring our attention back to the surface. Do appreciate that. And pretty much what I wanted to do is to come on and talk about fathers, fatherhood, fathers. And there was, wow, that person driving really fast. Because of Father's Day, there have been a lot of talk around fathers. A lot of discussions on Instagram, Facebook, a lot of things I've been reading and in listening and things like that. And first of all, what I want to tell you guys is that, especially for you guys where fathers were not involved, just know it has nothing to do with you. Your father not being involved in your life has nothing to do with you. And even though, my audience are men, and this is for men and women, for any person who has a father, his decision, and sometimes, I like to say sometimes it can be a decision or it can be a reaction. But again, it has nothing to do with you. And even if a father says they don't want to have anything to do with you, and how hurtful that can be, still know that that has nothing to do with you. That is where he is in his own life, where there's some hurt, there's some pain, there's some unresolved issues with him. And I know as a child or as a young person, adult, hearing that for your father, because the only thing that we want from our parent is love. And the one thing I can say is, as an adult, is to start doing the work, because as a child, we wouldn't know what to do with that, and it's very hurtful. And the only thing I can say to parents of children who have fathers out there who may say that, who are not involved, definitely talk to children. Open up that conversation, because that's the thing with society, is that no one never talks. Because even when I think about even my own father, he wasn't involved. We knew who he was. He had our telephone number. We had his. I've had some conversations with him, about his involvement and things like that. But then when I, think about it as an adult, no one sat down with us and even just said, I'm sorry that your dad is not in your life. It was just, you live on. But anyway, men out there, I just want you guys to know that it has nothing to do with you. Another way of looking at it too is kind of just think about it this way. When you're going through your trials and tribulations, do you really want somebody around? I will really encourage people to look at that Fatherless Son, especially the Fatherless Sons that Oprah did several years ago. There's, I think it's called Fatherless Sons and Fatherless Daughters. Watch them both, and especially with the Fatherless Sons, because it shows where some fathers who were on there and who neglected their family, and like why they did it. And kind of going back to when, like, if a father says, you know, I hate you, I don't want you, or you remind me of this. Unfortunately, what that is that it reminds, the child reminds, you know, the father or a parent of a period of time in their lives. And of course, that's nothing, again, that has nothing to do with the father. And so, as a child, you're not able to, you know, process that. Some children may be mature enough to sense something, but may not, you know, have the words to articulate it. And even as adults, we don't. However, as adults, you know, again, we have no control over this as people of what happened to us at any point in our lives as children, even as adults. However, we are totally responsible for our healing. And I just cannot express this enough. It has nothing to do with you. Know that you are resilient and you are doing the best that you can. If you are a father out there who are not involved in your children's life, please, because that's all a child wants, is to be around their other parent, you know. And if you're a mother, you know, who's not involved in your children's life, it's not about what you can give your child and put it like, it's not the material things that you can give your child. The best thing that you can give your child is you. And so I just want to, you know, give you some encouragement. And it's a process. The other thing that I want to point out too is, I want to point out the word "and." So, and even when it comes to this, even with the worst thing that a parent can do, even with abuse and neglect, only if the parent can, whether you say own up, work through, only if they're able to do what they need to do to work through their own issues, and I guess you could say, and ask for forgiveness. And forgiveness is something that you can work through. And forgiveness is for yourself. It's not for the other person. And so I'm not saying that you should. It doesn't give the person a pass of what happened. It really sets you free. Because any ounce of anything negative within our being, it affects us mentally, physically, and spiritually. So that's why it's so important for us to do the work. And the work starts with us. And it's a process. It's a process. It's a process. And even, you know, for people who decide to go to therapy, it's the work that you go outside. You know, the therapist is going to give you some assignments. And if you're not doing that work, then, you know, therapy is not going to be effective. And then there's some other things too, and that's why I do what I do, because I have seen as a therapist that other things needed to be added for us to take care of ourselves, such as yoga, especially restorative yoga, meditation, again, being intentional about what we do, being intentional about self-care, and self-care mentally, physically, and spiritually. But anyway, I just wanted to touch bases with you guys and just know that, hey, there are people out there that love you, that need you, that care for you. If there's anything that you need, if you have a question, you can always, you know, DM me. My telephone number is out there. I do provide services. One is Talk It Out, if you need someone just to talk to. I mean, that's one thing that I've seen that's needed. You know, a lot of times, you know, everyone, but I always say we all can benefit from therapy, but we all don't always need therapy. Sometimes we just need somebody just to talk to, just to let it out, just to unload. And sometimes we need affirmations. Somebody, you know, just kind of let us know, you know, that we are doing a good job, that we are somebody. I provide that services too, as well as life coaching. You know, you may feel a little stuck to get to somewhere anyway, you guys have a good day, and just know that you are awesome, and no matter what you have going for you, no matter what comes your way, you have everything going for you, and I'm rooting for you. Take care.